conversation coming to you from Lagos Television. Today on the program, we're taking it beyond the studio for a special one-on-one. We're focusing on Apapa local government that plays a critical role in Lagos' economy and daily life. Apapa is the gateway to Nigeria's economy, home to the nation's busiest ports and a growing residential community. So, how is leadership responding? For this conversation, my colleague Joy is on location at the Apapa Local Government Secretariat inside the office of the chairman, Idowu Adejumoke Shebanjo. Joy, over to you. Joy.
Thank you, Adebimke. Today on the conversation,
Joy.
We sit down with the Executive Chairman of Apapa Local Government, Honorable Idowu Shebanjo. We're having a conversation with her, and this conversation goes beyond politics. We will reflect on her journey, her Lagos story, the impact of her administration on the residents of Apapa Local Government. Honorable Chairman, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Or thank you for having us.
Whichever way. Thank you, and thank you, Lagos.
All right, it's a pleasure to have you on this conversation. It's been 4 years, 6 months. Let's begin this conversation with reflecting on your leadership style in Apapa Local Government. It's been 4 years, 6 months. Take us through the journey of how it all began. What are the lessons you've learned and the experiences you've had?
Wow, where do I start? I never envisaged that I'd ever be a politician. I was always in private sector, doing private sector things. I was working at Metropolitan Bank, the defunct Metropolitan Bank, and then I got a letter to come and work with the state government. I was during Tinubu's administration. I was SSA Housing, and then I worked in Fashala's administration as well, SSA Poverty Eradication and Women Affairs. And then I took a break in Ambody's administration, and then I found myself here. Before then, I mean, people around in the locality had come to meet me to ask me if I wanted to join politics and I should come and run for chairmanship. I said, never. That can't be possible. And even if I want to do it, that they will not put my poster on, I will not canvass, I will not do any of all those things. And surprisingly, it was almost similar to the things I wanted, because when it actually came, I had taken the form, filled the form. I was the only female. We were 10 contestants, aspirants. I had taken the form, and I was the only female. The other 9 members were all male. And 3 days before the election, they asked me to come and take the flag. It was all very surprising. And that was how it all started. It rolled into one thing or the other, and then I went in for the elections. And at that time, I think I won the elections with about 5,000 votes, which at that time was the highest in Apapa that Apapa had ever had. And then coming in as the first female chairman of the local government. It was, I thought I was coming to have a good time, enjoy myself, and, you know. But it wasn't that way. Local government business is tough business. If you're not ready for it, don't go into it. And if you don't have the stamina and the wherewithal to be able to hold on, it could be very difficult. There was a wise woman who invited us for a meeting, a prayer meeting couple of years back. 6 o'clock in the morning, she invited us to Eco Hotel. And her advice to us was, if you're going into politics, hold on to your God. Whichever God you believe in, hold on to him firmly. I never knew that that's what she said then would ever become useful to me. And I found myself in the midst of so many things and all sorts of wars. First, my background, very different, and my approach to things very different from what my constituents and the norm were used to. The first thing I had to battle was the good boys taking tolls from trailers and all that. It was big business. And one thing I said to myself, I'm not going to be partaker of that. I shut that down, and it was big fight with myself and the young boys around. But it helped, because it helped to clear the trailers off the streets. If we didn't do that, trailers would be packed all over the place, and the traffic would have been another story. Well, I don't know how it happened or how God did it, but I just found out that when I came into office, the traffic in Apapa went down. With these other boys, I refused to take on their baits on collection of tolls, and that went away. Now, the leadership, the leaders, people, the political cloud, and all of that. As I said, my person was very different from the norm, what they were used to, and my style of doing what I do is different from what they're used to. A lot of things, first and foremost, I needed to clean up Apapa, starting with the local government. The local government was not in a state that I could work, or even my staff. We didn't have nothing was functional. We didn't even have light. We didn't have anywhere to sit. We cleaned up, we cleared up, and then we now went into the community, and then my focus purely was on housekeeping. How do I clean up? Ensuring the refuse were being collected. The drainages had not been cleared in a very long time. We needed to do all of that. Get the market women and the street traders in line. I stopped them from collecting any kind of toll from any street trader because we're not recognizing them. If we collect any form of money from them, it means that we're recognizing them. But I said, no, we're not collecting anything from them. So it would give us a chance to be able to talk and do what the government has said, or what the laws in the state or even in the local government has said we should do. Now, especially Christmas time, when they bring out all their goods from the market and they want to sell on the road, that was a big fight. And it still is up till today. But thank God Mr. Governor has made it easy for us, and he's told all local government chairmen to go and clean up Lagos. We can't leave this only to Loma. In the course of my work, I needed to build a relationship with the civil servants, which I thank God I'm blessed with wonderful staff. I haven't had problems with my staff so far. The first CM I had, and now, the CM that I have now, they've been very good administrators, top on their job. And I leave them to do what they have to do as civil servants. A lot of people don't agree, when I let them do what they have to do. They will do what they have to do, but then you will also put checks in places. They check me up, I also check them up. So I have a good working relationship with my civil servants. The political staff came in, and we continued doing what we had to do. A lot of work. We started with schools, clearing up our environment, the drains.
We'll come to that. We'll take them one by one. But I want to take your point. You mentioned something about traffic, because everyone knows the Apapa of those days, unique for its traffic challenges. I'd like you to just talk a bit about how that affected the economy of Apapa and how it is now that it has become minimal.
Today, you can drive into Apapa at will. Going, coming, anytime. In those days, once you leave in the morning, you must make sure you finish everything you're doing before you come back. You could be in the traffic for up to 5 hours. Today, when it cleared up, the first indication that I heard, that things were picking up was from the market women who said, that's, things have changed for them and business is picking up. Before, it was just, those within the locality. People from outside didn't come in and they couldn't even go out. It was difficult. A lot of companies had moved out. A lot of the residents have moved out. Even till now, getting them back in is very difficult. I cannot say that Apapa local government used to be called the Golden Council, and that's because there was a lot of money flowing in Apapa. You had the ports, you had seamen coming in from the ships and all of that. So they all come in and they spend money locally. The clubs were thriving, but everything went down. Residents moved out. Big companies, Promisidor, people like Promisidor, they moved out of Apapa. That's the cowbell company. They've moved out of Apapa. Elder Dempster and all of these other companies, John Holt's, everybody just disappeared. If you go into GRA, most of the houses are empty. I remember doing a list of the abandoned houses to Mr. Governor, and he looked at it and said, Apapa is empty, everybody has left, which is true. You find out some people, they have spent, or maybe they were attacked on the bridge. The next day, they'll just leave their things in their houses and they move to the island. That was how quite a few people moved out. Creek Road is still empty. Most of the warehouses on Creek Road are empty. The offices on Creek Road, the banks on Creek Road, and that was our main commercial road. They're all empty. But I thank God that things are picking up a bit, and some new companies are moving in. Some are buying up, spaces from other companies, and they're expanding. And I hope that, in the next couple of 2-3 years' time, Apapa will find its buoyancy again that it used to have. Although a lot of people are still skeptical, the estate business is still on the low side. Rent in Apapa is relatively cheap compared to other parts of Lagos. You can't compare it with Ikeja or Victoria Island or Ikoyi. And before, the rent was on par with all these places. But investors are not ready to buy property or move into Apapa yet. They will tell you that they can't take that risk. But as I said, business is picking up, but it's not, we still have a long way to go from what it used to be before. But we know that it will change.
It will, certainly. Okay, now let's begin to look at major developments that you have achieved since you assumed office. Let's start with the environment. You wanted to talk about it earlier, and let's talk about the environment. Now, starting with waste management, what has the council been doing to ensure that Apapa is clean, safe, and healthy?
With the environment, first, yes, we have our street sweepers, although we need more help in that regard. if we could get companies who will take up some of these things and pay for the salaries of the sweepers, that would do, it will go a long way. We have just one waste compactor truck that goes round at least the major areas to pick up waste, the dirt and all of that every day. We ensured that we opened up all the drains which were completely blocked. My first year was the rainy season. I mean, even in my own house, when it rains, my house was flooded. Inside my house was always, we have to scoop water out and everything. And I said, look, we can't continue. What's the way out? The head of the environment department, he now went round and we realized that all the mail channels into the creek were all blocked. The growth of silts, trees and all of that in it was just too much, and there was no way, water was not flowing anywhere. Now when you look at all the channels, I think is channel, I can't remember the channels, anyway, all the way from Badagry, Apapa is the first outlet. So all the water and the drain that comes from Apapa, from Badagry, flows into Apapa. So you can imagine all the different areas that connect. Everything comes into Apapa. But even then, most of all those places too are also blocked. So by the time it gets to Apapa, it's another thing. So we now started with clearing up the main exits into the creeks. And we found out the first time it rained, surprising, under 2 hours, the water had subsided. So that encouraged us. And we went on, we spent a lot of money doing that, getting different types of trucks and what do you call this? Excavator and swamp buggies to come in to clear, and do all that they have to do. And we did that, and we realized that this is fantastic. The state government also came in and did a bit of cleaning up for us, which I have to appreciate the commissioner and the permanent secretary for the Ministry of Environment on that regard. But they can still do more for us. We also looked at companies coming in. The first 4 years was difficult. I want to say because most of the companies were not responding to us at all. And that had been from what had happened previously. So by the time we were rounding up in my 4th year, some companies had started responding, and they will ask us what we want them to do for us and all that, which I found, in fact, I was so happy. I was able to get flour mills to come on board, and that was through, some friends of mine who knew the MD and all that. And they promised to do a few things. We're still waiting for some of those things that they promised to do. We had one or two other companies that came in and asked, supported us. We have CFAX. CFAX, they're good, how would I put it? Tenants. Yes. And they have worked with us, cooperated with us, and they're doing more.
Okay.
So basically, with the environment, that was it.
Still on the environment, because again, blocked drainages don't get blocked on their own. So how is the council tackling indiscriminate dumping of refuse? What are you doing to sensitize residents on the dangers of this, and what are the consequences for those caught doing it?
I think economic factors play into it, other than the fact that Nigerians generally, they don't like change. And when they see that you're trying to do something that is not beneficial to them, they are not ready. Yes, the male residents, they will do what they have to do. They pay for PSP and all of that. But not all of them can afford it. I think they charge about 12 to 15,000. I'm not sure how much. They charge so much. Not everybody can afford that. But at the same time, because I did mention it to the MD, and he said, look, what do you want him to do? That was one aspect. They were not ready to pay. And they would rather use the cart pushers. So we tried to get rid of the cart pushers from coming into Apapa, along with Okadas and things like that. And then we started sensitizing. We did seminars. We called the market women, to enlighten them, and even got Loma to get them to know how to separate their waste and all that. But I must say that following up is a Herculean task, which even on our own part, we need to be able to follow up to ensure that, they keep up with it. Now, the street traders are more, they also contribute to all this blocked drainage and everything. And if we can get them, to do the right thing and get them into the market. Unfortunately for me, I don't have big markets or large space where I can actually get them in. Most of the street traders that come to Apapa are coming from Ikorodu and from other local governments to come and trade here. They're not even part and parcel of those who vote in Apapa. And that was one of the reasons why I said we don't collect tolls from all these petty traders on the road. Because the minute we do that, it means that government is accepting and acknowledging them. So I don't. So when we need to get them away, it's easy for me to say, after all, you're not paying taxes or you're not paying anything to the local government. But then, as a woman, a mother, you look at it, most of them are women. That's their livelihood. Some of them, their husbands don't have jobs. That is what they're using to. But I cannot continue to say that when there's a law. And with the rates of insecurity and all of that around, we cannot afford to keep them on the road. So we've asked them to leave. I know that Kai and the other state government agencies will come in and do what they have to do. But by and large, we will get there. Rome wasn't built in a day, and it's part of the things that I intend to focus on this my second term in office.
All right, my colleague in the office has a question for you.
It's good to hear all the laudable projects by the chairperson. But from me, I'd like to find out what steps your administration is taking to empower women and young people.
Thank you.
Okay? Did you hear me?
What are we doing about? My administration is hinged on the She agenda, or it was She agenda for my first term. And for my second term is She agenda 2.0, which means continuation. What we have added, She stands for security, H stands for health, E stands for economics, and the other E, environment, sorry, and the other E stands for education. Including in all of this, we have traffic, we have environmental and all of that, ICT, skill acquisition and all of that. And then what we have added to the 2.0 is more of empowerment for the youths and for women. Now, if you look around us, you find out the capacity, the youths are more than the aged. And we find out that women are the ones that are out there doing things, trying to bring food home to the family. And our economy is basically based on the third tier of government. The economy on that level is hinged on our market women and women generally. And it's difficult for them to get financing and things like that on the average. What we are doing, first I needed to create, because a lot of these youths, they think everything is magic and everything is as easy. They want me to get employment for them. The local government is not in the business of giving employment, but we also assist, talking to companies around. Most of them are not even employing because of where they're coming from, the bad situation in the country. They are managing their staff. Some of them have laid off staff. Some of them have reduced salaries just to accommodate and not lay everybody off. So what are we doing to support them? We have invited them to seminars, workshops, and some of them I have taken them abroad to actually see how life is outside. Because a lot of them, their expectations are wild. But their counterparts in other countries, even African countries, what are they doing? They have so much liberty here that when you see your counterparts in other countries, they don't have half as much liberty as you have, and they are doing what they have to do. Here, it's not the same. Very few of them believe. An average youth today doesn't know what the truth is. He's living in a Nigeria where the odds is what should work for the right thing, and the truth is a lie. Most of them, that is how they've been brought up, and that is what they see. So in order to open their minds to see things, I have encouraged them to go out to see what happens in other countries. I think we've been able to take them to 3 different countries as of today. Some went to Rwanda, some went, they just got back from Morocco, some have been to, I think, Doha, and some went to the UK. We are talking to some people to put some things together for us, where I can take some people for short programs. In China, we're looking at Saudi Arabia, and we're looking at Turkey. People are working on those 3 countries for me to take them out so that they can actually see how people work, their work attitude, their attitude towards work, to see how things are done and how these places, how they operate. So when I'm talking, I'm not talking and whatever I'm saying is not strange to them. They can relate, and then they can come back into the community and do what it is that they have to do to make people, see what it is. Right. For the women too, it's the same thing. We're encouraging them. We've done different types of workshops, to help them look at whatever their businesses are, to grow their businesses, to help them financially, to get financial institutions to support their businesses, and even mentors to mentor them in what it is that they want to achieve and how to go about it.
All right, let's talk about food security and agriculture and what the council is also doing to empower young farmers.
Empowering youth security, and we don't have land for farming. We have to go out to buy land for farming, which we're actually in the process of getting about 30 hectares of land and Mowe side to grow, cassava and things like that. But locally, excuse me, we provide, as I said, we do a lot of training. We've done for fish farming, we've done for poultry, we've done, what's this, what Mrs. Tinumbu was encouraging us to do with subsistence farming. We've done all of that, and this hydroponics farming, and we actually even have a small bit of the hydroponics farming at the back where we grow vegetables and things like that, and we actually give to the to staff, within the local government. We've supported our fish farmers with seedlings and all of that, because it's more of a fishing area. We're surrounded by water, so we do a lot in that regard. And then also poultry. Most of the chicken we use for Christmas to give our staff, we bought from our poultry farmers. And we go to inspect their farms from time to time to see what it is they need and the next level that they need to get to in what they're doing.
Time is not on our side. We might need to have a part 2 to have a full conversation touching on
Wow.
other areas. But before we go, let's get to know who you are. What was growing up like for you? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Lagos, Ikoyi to be precise.
Are you Ajeboha?
Not very far from me. I went to St. Mary's Private School in Lagos, and then from there I went to Holy Child. I did a few months in LASU. No, I went to Federal School of Arts and Science in Victoria Island, and then I went to LASU for a few months before going to Jos. I finished from University of Jos, and I did my master's in Unilag. Growing up was fun.
Do you speak Hausa?
No. Growing up was fun. I mean, in those days, you ride your bicycle from one street to the other. We're playing police and thieves. We're playing catchers, running from one person's compound to the other. All this one that today our children can't go out and because of insecurity and all that, we had nothing like that. Yes, you had the Gbomo, we used to hear of all of that, and you have to be, but then it was fun. It was fun. We were carefree. We played outside, not having to sit down and you're stuck to the computer or something. You interact. Children of today, they're on their laptop or their iPad or their phone. They don't talk to you. You'll be talking to your children, maybe on the phone, but we had time to play. And secondary school too was fun. We had the lit days and all of that, dramatic society. We interacted, from school inter-house sports and inter-school activities. Most of those things don't occur anymore. It's very sad. But growing up, Holy Child College put a lot in me. And my school motto is action, not words. And that has grown with me, even in my job, with whatever I do. So
beautiful experience you've shared with us. For everyone that we have had encounter with on the conversation, we usually ask them, what's your Lagos story? So for you, what is your Lagos story? What does Lagos mean to you?
I can't live anywhere else. With all the hype, with all the drama. In fact, it is that drama
that makes it sweet.
That makes me stay in Lagos. You travel, people are frustrated, they can't talk, they will say, oh, why are you shouting? Yeah, you shout your head off and you shout your frustrations out. Lagos it's crazy with all what we have around us. I can't live anywhere else. Even living in Abuja, the place is too quiet. Lagos is Lagos, and Lagos will always be Lagos. And I always say, love Lagos, love Nigeria. Love Apapa, love Lagos. There's no true Lagos anywhere in the world.
Absolutely, there's no true Lagos anywhere in the world. So let's talk about your favorite food. What do you like?
I like food. I like food. I don't have a favorite food. I think it used to be eba, because I could wake up in the morning and eat eba. But usually it's if I'm coming down, no, proper eba and okra. And that is if, my cook will know that, madam is not feeling well when she has to eat eba in the morning. Whatever. And then yam. Yam, I like yam. you know. But now you have to be very careful of all of this. Age is not age is not telling that I'm just spreading and spreading, putting on weight and all of that. But eba is my favorite food.
Favorite food. Okay. Yeah, I love food too. For those that know. All right. Finally, beyond the title and the office, what legacy would you like to leave behind?
Somebody who stood for justice, for doing things right, properly. People believe in building legacies in buildings and structures. I want to leave a legacy in the hearts and minds of the people of Apapa, knowing that when I was here, I stood for the right things to be done, justice to be done. That is the legacy I want to leave.
Why do you think residents should entrust their mandates to the APC?
Well, as I said, I'm in the party, APC, All Progressive Congress Party, the ruling party in Nigeria. My residents have confidence in what I have done. They believe in me, and that is why they voted me in a second term. Now, our president, whatever he is doing, transcends to us, and we are trying to live what he's trying to do. And they see it in what we're trying to do. They see it in the Apapa that we're trying to rebuild. So I'm asking them to come and join our party, the APC, All Progressive Congress Party, and be a part of building Nigeria into what we can say we can live for our children. Our grandparents didn't live in Nigeria that we have today for them. They left a better Nigeria. So what legacy do we want to leave for them? We all condemn one party or the other and all that. This party has a structure. Come in, be a part of this party to be able to build and leave your own legacy. Saying you're doing this, you're going to this party, you're going to another one. This one is already working. Or majority of people are already in this party. So why don't you come in and make the best of what you want to contribute through this party? So please join me in registering as party members and also picking up your PVC. Go in to register as APC members, or you'll pick up your voter's card so that we can rebuild Lagos, we can rebuild Apapa, and we can rebuild Nigeria. My favorite slang is love Apapa, love Lagos, APC.
We must thank you again, Honorable Idowu Shebanjo, the Executive Chairman of Apapa LG Government, for sharing insights, taking us through your journey on leadership, politics, and of course, getting to know your person on the conversation today. An interesting one, I must say.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for Lagos Television for this opportunity to talk to my residents and talk to Lagos. You're doing a good job. I've enjoyed this conversation so far, and you've made it easy for me. I'm not usually a television person, but Lagos Television is doing it well, and thank you. As I say, love Apapa, love Lagos, love Nigeria. It's APC for you, all the way. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ma, for your time on the conversation. And that's it from here. I am Joy Olu. Over to you, Adebimpe.
Well done, Joy. Thank you. True leadership at the grassroots remain key to driving real change. And that was the Honorable Chairman of Apapa Local Government, Idowu Adejumoke Shebanjo. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, the conversation continues.